You can always tell when a woman in a relationship is being loved properly by how good she looks, how happy she looks. When you see the opposite, that man is putting her through the ringer. There's a trend going on right now on TikTok called the divorce effect, and it was very interesting to see. This trend shows how bad marriages, not all, how bad marriages can drain a woman. And it shows their glow up after the divorce. Now, our major theme when it comes down to these transformations is that a lot of women lost weight.
Every time I see a woman who was small before she got into a relationship, and then after she got into that relationship, she got big as hell, I'm already knowing it's because that man is stressing her out. Started caring too much about you. Not only that, when your body is under so much stress, you release a hormone called cortisol. And that shit is basically when your body is in survival mode. That's why a lot of women are walking around with big ass stomachs. That's because all the inflammation from the stress. That's why a lot of women walking around face big as hell like mine, puffy as hell, stomach getting big for no reason. That's because of all that damn stress. That's why when I look at women, I be like, damn, she done gained some weight. It's because, and then you ever notice after you leave, you start to lose weight. That's because your body is no longer in survival mode. You ain't got to sit there and overthink. You not carrying around all that emotional labor. And then you ain't got to downplay yourself. So if you notice that after you left that start to lose weight, that wasn't nothing but your body just responding to the bad environment that you put yourself in.
Weight aside, outside of that, a lot of these individuals started living more, having more happier, fulfilling lives after they had a divorce.
Hot take, I did not become a woman until after I got divorced. I'm not saying marriage was the problem, but chasing the fairy tale version of womanhood, oh boy, that kept me small. For a long time, I was stuck in this societal groupthink. You know that narrative. Grow up, find a good man, get married, settle down. That's the dream, right? I genuinely believed that was the pinnacle of my worth, becoming someone else's wife. And I wasn't miserable about it, but I also wasn't fully me. Looking back, I realized I wasn't making choices from curiosity or passion. I was following a playbook that people before me had written. Growing up, my mom even told me when I got to college, I was going to get my MRS degree. And if you know, you know. So I won't lie, it was definitely a goal of mine. It wasn't until I was fully on my own that the fog cleared. That's when I realized how many of my decisions were performative. I wasn't living a life, I was playing a role that had already been cast for me. That space, that silence, that solitude after my divorce, that's where I met myself for the first time. For a while, I cried every day. Then I started trying new activities and questioning everything I was taught before, even learning more about my own spirituality. It's crazy because even though you kind of take on your spouse's hobbies, talents, and identity in a way, this does prevent you from going deeply within on your own. There's a certain temptation to want to bring your best friend down that road with you, but there's also a certain freedom in taking it by yourself. I'm not telling you to go and file for divorce, but what I am saying is if you've been feeling like there's more to you that you haven't even met yet, maybe you're still living inside of someone else's idea of who you should be. If you're already divorced or single right now, lean into it. Really understand that the world is your oyster and you can now explore your own interests selfishly. But also, I do believe that humans are meant to be in companionship. We are socialized creatures. We're not meant to go through life without community. After all, it takes a village. And despite pessimistic people out there that may say, oh, do you know how difficult it is to find your soulmate in a world of 8 billion people? I still do believe there's a yin for everyone's yang. These chapters, though, are also to be savored and valued, but not any more or less than the one you're currently in. And that's where I was getting it wrong, but now I'm gonna get it right. So, in this current chapter, I'm all about creativity. I'm all about waking up early, having coffee, live streaming, getting pretty. And I'm cool with that because I understand the previous chapters have prepared me for this one. And this chapter is preparing me for the next.
Personally, this trend definitely hit home for me as somebody who I would say has experienced the divorce effect. This was me while I was married. One thing I will say, am I open to being married again with the right person? Absolutely. I say one thing I will say is when I got married, I was 21. I didn't have my own identity yet. I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. I was just figuring myself out. Maybe my frontal lobe wasn't even developed. And I really believe people should get married in their 30s when you're more mature, when you're more established, when you've lived your life, when you've done everything that you wanted to do. I do not believe in people getting married in their 20s. My whole identity when I was married, because I didn't know who I was yet, was being a mother and was being a wife. That's how I identified myself. You know, people on their social media bios, how they have things about them. Mine, and it probably still is, I need to check, is mother, and at that time it was wife. It's probably still mother. But once I decided, okay, I want a divorce, I picked up running. And as somebody who's a plushy queen, I completed a half marathon. I started this YouTube channel. I learned how to cook. I learned a lot of things about myself. And I feel like being separate helped me start establishing myself as a woman.
What happened post divorce that I just was not expecting? All of my inflammation went down. Everyone has been asking, oh my God, have you lost weight? Nope, haven't lost any weight. All of my inflammation went down, and I think that's because I am not stressed and anxious and depressed. I am sleeping through the night. I'm not tossing and turning all night. I'm not waking up in the night. It's very rare that I do, just once in a while, but I am getting not just sleep, but rest. I am experiencing the world and life in colors that I have never seen before. I feel like I've been reborn in a way where I am just experiencing this world and seeing colors I've never even seen before. I lost some friends. I gained some friends back. I have no anxiety and no stress in life. And I have some crazy stuff going on that in another life should be stressed out, should be anxious, and it is just not even affecting me. Stuff that could completely change my life at the drop of a hat. And I'm just like, all good. I'll land on my feet. Nothing is bothering me. And if you are bothering me, goodbye. I'm not really experiencing any loneliness. I am being very conscious to not just busy all of my days so that I'm never alone. I'm alone quite a bit, and I don't feel lonely. This is the most loved and community I feel like I've had in the last 7-8 years of my life. And when I am alone, peaceful. It's quiet, it's silent, it's reflective, it's healing. And I don't feel like sad, alone. I feel really good. I'm obsessed with living alone. It's the freaking best. Last but not least, I did not expect to be where I'm at about a year later, last November, that I had began making moves to put myself in a position that when I pulled the trigger, I could just leave. I expected a healing journey to take longer. Now, that's not to say I'm not 100% healed, but I feel like post a year of even just starting, gonna change my life. I did not expect I would be this healthy, happy, at peace, at rest, feeling mostly healed, opening myself up to other people. I just feel really good. And I thought that maybe the sadness or the heaviness would last longer, but it's just not. And that's how I know I made the right decision.
I feel like I wouldn't have achieved a lot of things had I still been in that marriage. I definitely don't see where I would have been a half marathoner because I wasn't even taking care of myself. I was just worried about my spouse, mostly my child. I had really let myself go. And also when you're unhappy, it's really hard to pick up and go. It really is. So I feel like I wouldn't have taken care of myself. I mean, I feel like I wouldn't have achieved a lot of things, right? And when you are mentally free and you can mentally think, you can invest a lot of time. So I took a lot of that time that I would mostly give to my marriage, and I was able to reach the top of my career, right? Because I had a lot of mental space, a lot of mental clarity, a lot of freedom. So I put a lot of energy into things for me. So yeah, let me know. Have you ever been married before? How many times have you been married? Are you thinking about getting married? Let's share down below and let me know. Until next time.
I'm fine in the gym, just got my hair did, nails back long so